Hello, everyone. Welcome to our lesson today. I'm excited to take you on a journey into the tropical rainforest. This is Lesson 3, and it's part of our Grade 6 Social Studies series. Today, we'll explore what makes the tropical rainforest so unique and important. We'll look at its features, the plants and animals that live there, and why it matters to our world. So, get ready for an interesting adventure into one of Earth's most incredible ecosystems. Let's take a moment to think about some key questions that will guide our understanding today. First, in what ways is the rainforest useful? Well, rainforests are incredibly important for our planet. They produce a large portion of the world's oxygen, support countless species of plants and animals, and help regulate the climate. Next, we need to consider why rainforests of the world are in danger and how this threatens us all. Deforestation, agriculture, and urbanization are major threats that not only destroy these vital ecosystems, but also contribute to climate change, which affects everyone, everywhere. Finally, what can we do to help save what remains of our rainforests? There are actions we can all take, from supporting conservation efforts to making sustainable choices in our daily lives. So, let's explore these questions together and see how we can make a difference. All right, let's take a closer look at some important vocabulary that ties into our overall theme. First, we have essence. This refers to the core nature or most important quality of something. Understanding the essence helps us get to the heart of complex issues. Next is inflammation, which is a biological response to injury or infection, something that can cause discomfort but also plays a role in healing. Moving on, deforestation is a critical environmental concern. It involves the clearing of forests, which impacts biodiversity and climate change. Recycling is about reusing materials to reduce waste and conserve resources, emphasizing sustainability. Then we have indigenous, which refers to native peoples with deep-rooted connections to their land and culture, an essential aspect of many environmental and social discussions. Diabetes and rheumatism are health-related terms, chronic conditions that affect millions worldwide. Recognizing these helps us understand the importance of healthcare and medical advancements. Speaking of medicine, medicinal relates to substances used to treat or prevent illness, while anesthetic refers to drugs that numb pain during medical procedures. Finally, shelter is a fundamental human need, protecting us from the elements and providing safety. As you click on each word, you'll see its definition, which can deepen your understanding of these key concepts. All of these terms connect back to how we interact with our environment, health, and society, core themes in our presentation. Rainforests are incredibly important for providing a wide variety of food and drinks that we enjoy every day. They are home to many trees and plants that produce exotic fruits, nuts, and vegetables, which are essential for our food supply. For example, some of the fruits grown in rainforests include pineapple, coconut, banana, papaya, and mango. These fruits are not only delicious, but also packed with nutrients. Have you ever enjoyed a cup of hot chocolate? Well, that wouldn't be possible without cacao trees, which are native to rainforests. Similarly, the coffee and tea we love to start our mornings with also come from rainforest trees. Rainforests are also the source of other products like chicle, a natural substance used to make chewing gum. And for those who enjoy desserts, vanilla beans, which flavor many cakes and treats, come from rainforest plants. Nuts like cashews, peanuts, and Brazil nuts also thrive in these lush environments, providing us with healthy snacks and ingredients. So, as you can see, rainforests are vital not just for the environment, but also for the food and beverages we rely on every day. Let's test your knowledge with a quick rainforest foods quiz. Many rainforest plants have incredible medicinal properties, and interestingly, these uses were first discovered by indigenous tribes living in the rainforest. These plants are a vital source of chemicals that can be used in various ways. For example, some act as anesthetics to help with surgery, making procedures safer and less painful. Others are used to heal wounds or to treat skin and heart conditions, which shows just how diverse their applications can be. Additionally, many rainforest plants help manage chronic conditions like diabetes and rheumatism, as well as reduce inflammation. It's quite remarkable to think that over 25% of modern medicines actually originate from these rainforest plants. However, despite this huge potential, less than 1% of tropical plants have been scientifically tested for medicinal properties. So, as we explore these plants, remember that the rainforest remains a largely untapped resource for future medicines. And if you're curious about a specific plant's medicinal uses, just click the Discover a Plant button to learn more about that particular rainforest remedy. Today, I want to talk about deforestation. As you can see, wood is in constant demand in our world. We use it for building homes, making furniture, producing paper, and even clearing land for farming. All of these activities contribute to the practice of deforestation. Deforestation is essentially the cutting down of trees and the clearing of forests to meet human needs. Unfortunately, this has led to the loss of millions of acres of rainforest every single year. Think about the scale of that loss and what it means for our planet. Now, I want you to consider something important. What do you think happens to the animals and plants that live in these forests? Their homes are being destroyed, and their habitats are disappearing. This has serious consequences for biodiversity and the health of our ecosystems. If we look at a tropical rainforest area affected by deforestation, we see the stark reality of these changes. It's a reminder of how vital these forests are, not just for the animals and plants, but for all of us. Our actions have a direct impact on the environment and the delicate balance of life on Earth. Let's talk about how deforestation impacts wildlife. When logging occurs, it doesn't just cut down trees. It destroys the habitats and food sources that many animals and birds rely on to survive. Without a safe place to live or enough food to eat, numerous species face the harsh realities of starvation and ultimately extinction. Now, there are several rainforest animals that are currently endangered because of this. For example, the orangutan, jaguar, toucan, and the red-eyed tree frog. The red-eyed tree frog, in particular, is a great example of a species threatened by habitat loss. If you're curious, you can click on each animal's name to learn more about its specific endangered status. This highlights just how urgent the issue is and why protecting these creatures is so vital to preserving the rainforest ecosystem as a whole. Let's talk about the effects of deforestation on indigenous tribes. First, displacement is a major issue. Many local tribes who have lived off the rainforest for generations are being forced to leave their lands because of deforestation activities. This isn't just about losing land, it's about losing their homes, their way of life. Next, there's the cultural loss that comes with displacement. When these communities are pushed out, they also lose their traditional knowledge, their languages, and cultural practices that have been passed down through centuries. It's a profound loss, not just for them, but for the world's cultural diversity. Another challenge is the urban transition. Many indigenous people who are displaced face poverty and find it difficult to adapt to city life. They often lack the skills or resources needed to thrive in urban environments, which makes their situation even more complicated. Now, I want to highlight a role-play activity about an indigenous community in the Amazon rainforest. These communities have protected the rainforest for thousands of years. Their knowledge and rights are not just important, they are essential for the conservation of these vital ecosystems. Recognizing their role helps us understand why protecting indigenous rights is so crucial in the fight against deforestation. Now, let's talk about the effects of deforestation on climate. First, one major impact is desertification. When trees are removed, the moist soil quickly dries out because the canopy no longer provides protection from direct sunlight. This process can turn what were once lush, green areas into deserts, which is a serious threat to local ecosystems. Next, we have flooding. Trees and soil act like natural sponges, absorbing rainwater and slowing down its flow into rivers and seas. Without these trees, there's less absorption, and the risk of flooding increases significantly, especially during heavy rains. And then there's global warming. Rainforests function like the planet's air conditioner. They absorb heat and help regulate temperatures. When we cut down these forests, it reduces this cooling effect, contributing to rising global temperatures worldwide. To help understand these connections better, there's a cause and effect game where you can match each cause with its specific effect on climate. This visual tool really highlights how interconnected these issues are. Remember, all of these points come from reputable sources like the World Resources Institute and Global Forest Watch, emphasizing the importance of protecting our forests for the health of our climate. Saving the rainforest is a crucial part of our overall effort to protect the environment. While a lot of damage has already been done, it's important to remember that there are still ways we can make a difference. One effective way is recycling. By recycling waste products like paper, cans, plastic, and glass, we reduce the need to cut down trees for new materials. For instance, instead of using fresh wood pulp to make new paper, we can process and reuse old paper. This simple action can help conserve countless trees. Another important step is discouraging harmful purchases. We should avoid buying products made from rainforest animals, such as reptile skins, tortoise shells, or ivory. This helps decrease the hunting of endangered species and reduces demand for these items, which is vital for their survival. Now, what else can we do? If you click the buttons, you'll see more ideas, like planting trees, reducing paper use even further, supporting conservation efforts, and spreading awareness about these issues. Every small action counts. And speaking of recycling, did you know that recycling just 1 ton of paper can significantly lessen the impact on rainforests? Rainforests are incredibly important. They produce oxygen, provide food and medicine, and help regulate the climate. Protecting them isn't just about saving trees. It's about safeguarding the future of our planet and all of its species, including ours. Let's go through some practice questions to solidify what we've learned. First, which of the following foods comes from the rainforest? Is it apples and grapes? No, those come from temperate regions. Potatoes and carrots, again, not rainforest products. The correct answer is bananas and cacao. Bananas are a staple fruit, and cacao is what we use to make chocolate. Next question, what is cacao mainly used for? Is it for making paper? No. Producing chocolate? Exactly. Cacao beans are processed to create the chocolate we enjoy. Moving on, how does deforestation affect wildlife? Does it increase food supply? Actually, no. It destroys habitats. The right answer is it destroys habitats and food sources, which puts many species at risk. Now, why are rainforests called the planet's air conditioner? Is it because they create cold winds? Not quite. They actually absorb heat and help regulate the Earth's temperature. Finally, what is one way we can help save the rainforest? Buying more rainforest animal products. That could harm it. Burning trees. Definitely not. Recycling waste materials is a great way to reduce our impact. Using more paper and wood. That would likely contribute to deforestation, not help. So the key points here are understanding the importance of rainforest foods like cacao, recognizing how deforestation harms wildlife, and knowing ways we can contribute to conservation efforts. Remember, protecting rainforests is essential for maintaining the planet's health and climate stability. Now, let's go through some practice questions to test what we've learned. Remember, you'll see a statement and then decide if it's true or false by clicking the T or F buttons. First, rainforests provide many types of fruits, nuts, and drinks. That's true, because rainforests are incredibly rich in biodiversity and supply a variety of resources that many of us rely on. Next, do indigenous tribes benefit from deforestation? The answer is false. Deforestation often harms indigenous communities because it destroys their homes and sources of food and medicine. Then, consider whether cutting down trees can cause desertification. That's true. When trees are removed, the land can lose its ability to retain moisture, leading to desert-like conditions over time. Moving on, does flooding get reduced when trees and soil absorb rainwater? Yes, it does. Trees and healthy soil act like sponges, soaking up rainwater and preventing floods in nearby areas. Finally, people can help rainforests by recycling paper. That's true. because recycling reduces the need to cut down more trees, helping to preserve these vital ecosystems. So take your time, think about each statement, and click the T or F buttons to see how well you understand the importance of protecting our rainforests. Let's wrap up with some final thoughts and a call to action. Rainforests are incredibly important to the health of our planet. They give us oxygen to breathe, provide food and medicine for millions of people, and help regulate the Earth's climate. They also serve as homes for countless species and indigenous communities. So what can you do? Simple actions can make a big difference. Recycling paper, plastic, glass, and metal helps reduce the demand for new resources. Choosing products that have sustainable or recycled packaging is another effective step. And spreading awareness about the importance of rainforests can inspire others to join the effort. Remember, the rainforest isn't just their home, it's our home too. Protecting these vital ecosystems is crucial, not only for the countless species that depend on them, but for our own survival as well. Every small action contributes to a larger change, so I encourage you to get involved and make a difference.